Get ready for endless value. Hello and welcome to the table, and today I am back for another deck tech video, this time for Gravy Bones Shipwrecked Looter. High Seas has just come out a couple of days ago when this video comes up, but officially, but Gravy Bones is easily the hero that everybody is most looking forward to playing, at least that I know. And let's dive right into this version of the list that I've got that I'm really proud of. But Gravy Bones is a pirate necromancer hero, new pirate, new necromancer, never seen him before, super excited. But it's got 4 intellect, 40 health, and a couple of pretty sweet abilities. The first one being an instant speed ability to tap himself, destroy a gold you control, to then draw a card, then discard a card. Seems kind of innocuous, but it's actually really solid in this deck. Because you wanna get a couple of cards into the graveyard, if you know what I mean. But in addition, Gravy Bone has another effect that reads: if a blue card has been pointed to your graveyard this turn from anywhere, including the combat chain, which is something I did not remember during pre-release, then you may play cards with Watery Grave from your graveyard. So this deck has kind of a couple of step plan. You want to play a bunch of blues, get your dudes into the bin, whether it's through those blues or through using something like a gold-baited hook to get gold to use Gravy's ability to get these into the graveyard. Then once you play those blues that either get stuff into the bin or you've already gotten the stuff into the bin, then play those dudes and just get endless value off of those dudes. And then play some good ways to either get more dudes into the bin or just deal more damage. But Gravy, absolutely wonderful engine for this deck. The instant speed ability, I mean, there's quite a few ways to make golds in this deck, but the main, big way you're going to be making gold and getting your dudes into the bin, because there are also a decent amount of ways to get your dudes into the bin, but there's not nearly as many ways to care about that there are just to use Gravy Bones instant speed ability. Just keep getting stuff into the graveyard, keep getting your dudes into the graveyard, then play one of the 33 blues in the deck, all of which should be able to help you just get a blue into the graveyard and then play out your big ol' allies. But so getting into the equipment, the first one and most important one, well, not the most important one, Compass of Sunken Depths. I wish that Gravy had a weapon. A lot of people wish that Gravy had a weapon, but this compass is still pretty powerful in a couple of different ways. First off, instant speed ability to just look at the top card of your deck. So on your turn, you can tap it, take a peek at the top card. Maybe you play something like a Jittery Bones, destroy the top. It was something with Watery Grave, you get some value. Then it untaps at the end of your turn. You can use it again on your opponent's turn. If you want to, I don't know, just defend and maybe get some, I don't really know, with Tricorn Assault Water Depths, you can discard a card with Watery Grave, and take a little peeky weeky at the top with a compass, and it's like, oh, I want to draw that card, and then you can do that. But it won't untap at the end of your opponent's turn. Also something that I did not remember in pre-release. A lot of people didn't remember, but Compass, it's a solid engine. In addition to saying the first card with Watery Grave you play from your graveyard each turn gets go again, which is really powerful, especially considering a lot of the allies in this deck cost very little. Either 0 or 1 resource. Half of them cost either 0 or 1 resource, with the rest of them costing mostly 2, with 1 4-drop and Chum. But, I mean, we got some ways to make those allies, those bigger cost allies, a little bit cheaper. But yeah, absolutely wonderful card, Compass of Sunken Depths, for what it does. I'm glad that Gravy has this, but I wish that he had a weapon too, because man, it can really suck when you're playing against a Jarl deck and this card just gets blown up, if you know what I mean. But then there is the equipment suite, going past the compass, and the most important one easily, and the most important card that's not in the main deck, Gold-Baited Hook. This card is insane. It blocks for 1 Battle Worn, which is great start. But then it also has an action ability to tap itself. Say your next pirate attack this turn, including an ally, gets an on hit of either stealing a gold token from the opposing hero or you create a gold. in the beginning of your end phase. If you haven't created or stolen a gold this turn, you destroy it. And the effect obviously has go again, so that you can actually go in with one of those pirate attacks. So the thing that really matters about this card is that, well, all your pirate attacks, like pretty much your entire deck, consists of pirate attacks. Like all your attacks are going to be pirates. And all your stuff that aren't pirate attacks are basically ways for you to get more gold. So, or, you know, just do a couple other things. But still, more than likely, the gold-baited hook is going to be a really good gold generation engine that allows you to make a gold almost every single turn because of the jittery bones and the restless bones. Just coming in with those, the opponent doesn't want those to hit, but they also want to be able to clear your allies, your important allies. So you're kind of putting your opponent between a rock and a hard place every time you activate the gold-baited hook, which is really good for you and really bad for the opponent. So, great stuff. But then there is Graven Justicorpse, and this card is really good. It blocks for 1 Battle Worn. Great start. And it has an instant speed ability to destroy itself, discard a card, and gain resources equal to its pitch value. 33 blues in the deck. If you don't have a way to get a blue into your bin, or not like an effective way to get a blue into your bin, like it's one of the few 1-cost blues in your deck, and you don't have the resources to play it, you can just Graven Justicorpse, discard it, get 3 resources, boom, a blue has been put into your yard, then you can play out some of your allies, like Chum, like Anka, like Limpet, etc., etc. So Graven Justicorpse can be a really good kind of like get-out-of-jail-free card when you need it, is effectively what I'm trying to say here. But then there's Mage Master Boots, this is probably the only deck that this card has ever been run in, where it's actually kind of like an MVP. It just, as an action, you can spend a resource, blow it up, say your next non-attack action you play this turn gets go again. That's awesome, because, you know, all your allies, all 18 of the allies in this deck are non-attack actions. None of them have go again. If you're not playing stuff with Watery Grave from Gravy Bones, this can be a great way for you, allow you to just ally. Like, something that's fairly common to do is play a 0-cost like Limpet or Austin, or play a 1-cost like Rigor Mortis, and then into a 2-cost like Anka or Sawbones. And this card can be a really good way for you to just say, hey, spend a resource, pitching a blue, play a Limpet Hopalon, and then play something like an Anka or a Sawbones. Boom, 2 allies on the board, and I spent 3 blue. Or I pitched a blue and did all that. And then, who knows, maybe you have more blues in your hand, and then maybe you can attack with those cards. Maybe attack with a Limpet Hopalon. Then go in with an Anka. And then just feel like you're the king of the world. It's just like, it's a really freaking good card. What can I tell you? But then there's Tricorn Saltwater Death. It just blocks for 1 Blade Break, and when it defends, you may discard a card with Watery Grave. If you do, you draw a card. It's just a really solid way. Like, if you don't have a ton of ways to get stuff with Watery Grave into your bin, this can be a good way for you to do that, in addition to keeping up with cards in hand, because that's always an important thing in Gravy, making sure that you have the resources to allow you to do the thing that Gravy wants to do, which is just get endless value. So yeah, Tricorn Saltwater Death, really good card. But then, going forward into the main deck, there's a couple of different categories of cards, basically split by pitch value. There's kind of like the reds that just deal damage and are good chain closers. There's the yellows, which are all the allies, and then there are the blues, which are all the ways to basically just get value off of Gravy's second effect. And or just do everything else that the deck wants to do, because blues are incredibly important in Gravy. But then, getting into the reds, the first red I got is Battalion Bark. This card is insane. It costs 4, sure, which is a lot, but something that you can do is like, hey, Gravy Bones, a blue's been put into your graveyard this turn. All your stuff gets go again. All your, like your first, with the compass, your first ally gets go again. Pitch a blue, play something like an Anka or a Sawbones. Then play a Battalion Bark. because that had go again, the ally had go again. Then you play the Battalion Bark, and High Tide, if there are 2 more blues in your pitch zone, there are going to be, then this gets +2 power, and it's a 4 cost 9 attack, 3 block. That's insane. It's just a really good way to just, boom, smack in for a ton of damage and just feel incredible. But then there's Jittery Bones and Restless Bones, which are very similar cards. The Jittery Bones is a slightly better version. They're both 3 blocks. They both cost nothing. Well, Jittery Bones cost nothing. Restless Bones cost 2. This is a 0 for 4. This is a 2 for 6. And when each of them attack, you may discard a card or destroy the top card of your deck. And if that card had Watery Grave, they get go again. So this can be a 2 for 6, potentially go again if you discard or mill the right card. This can be a 0 for 4, go again if you discard or mill the right card and they both block for 3. They're just really good ways to allow you to get more stuff into the bin if you need it. Otherwise, just good ways to kind of like start the ball rolling on your turn and just come in for a crap ton of damage. So, good stuff. But then getting into the yellows, all the allies, all the wonderful, beautiful allies. The first one being Anka Dragunder, the bane of every brute's existence. This is a 2-pitch, 2-cost Pirate Necromancer ally action with 5 power and 3 health, and Watery Grave, obviously. But as an action, you can spend a resource, tap an attack with Anka, or at instant speed, you can tap it, discard a card with Watery Grave, and say the next time an opponent draws 1 or more cards this turn, they discard a card. So, against the Brute deck, where everything says, hey, as an additional cost, draw a card, then discard a card. Anka here just says, hey, as an additional cost, just draw a card. Actually, no, just discard a card. And then discard another card. I'm pretty sure is how that works. So that's really bad for the opponent and really good for you. But there are still plenty of decks that like draw cards, like Puffin draws cards. Actually, no, discards a card because of Anka, but still. Anka is an absolutely insane card because, I mean, it's a pretty big boy. It's 5 power and 3 health. Like, 3 health, like, it's not a small amount of health. Sure, the opponent can just send in a 0 for 3 with go again because ninjas are fair against this deck. Ninjas are kind of the bane of this deck's existence in a lot of ways, but Anka is just, like, it's a really good card, like, against most decks. It's either, like, a good just beater, a good beat stick, and or a way to hamper their game plan. But then there's Chum, Friendly First Mate. A 4-pitch, or a 4-cost 2-pitch, Pirate Necromancer ally action with 4 power and 6 health, so a very big boy, with an action speed ability to tap an attack, or an instant speed ability to tap, discard a card with Watery Grave. Good for you. And then until the end of your turn, opponents must attack and choose to attack this as a target of attacks if able. So basically, Chum becomes a big red stop sign for the opponent. It's like, all right, you got to come at me. And if you have some 1 health dudes, you know, there are quite a few of those. This card can just say, and you're coming at me now. Which for a lot of decks just says, hey, let's waste at least half of, if not all of your turn. Which is great. It's absolutely great for you. You, the Gravy Bones player, and terrible for them, which is all that you want to do. Because, yeah, Chum, big red old stop sign. But then there's a couple of 0 costs in Limpid Hopalon and Oyston. Limpid Hopalon is a 2-pitch, 0-cost Pirate Necromancer ally action. 2 power, 1 health. Very small, very whittle. But as an action, you can spend a resource, tap an attack with Limpet, and that attack is going to have go again. So basically, it's a way to extend the chain a little bit because, you know, there's 18 allies in the deck. You're very likely going to have, like, a couple of them out on the board at once. And if Limpet's down, then you can play the Limpet, attack with the Limpet, and then, well, you can attack with the Limpet and attack with another thing. So you can attack with 2 allies in 1 turn, and that would be especially awesome if one of those was, I don't know, a Rigor Mortis or a Sawbones. So there's that too. But then there's Oyston, Heart of Gold, a 0-cost, 3 power, 1 health ally with an action speed ability to tap an attack, and when it dies, you get to create a gold token. So the bane of this deck's existence is ninjas and stuff with one-powered weapons, like, you know, assassins too, or Fane, or like there's a lot of stuff that this deck is just like, oh, sad against. But Oyston here says, all right, you can come at me and kill me, but if you do, I get a gold. So that's really good for you because then that just can allow you to get more allies into the bin, allow you to play more allies, just get more value. So that part of it is really good for you. But then the card that you definitely want to side out if you're playing against a deck that can kill 1 health allies really, really effectively and easily, Rigor Mortis. This guy is either the best card in your deck or the worst card in your deck. I mean, well, there's Chum, but you get what I mean. Rigor Mortis is a 1-cost 6 power 1 health ally with an action speed ability to spend a resource, tap, and attack with him. This card is a very big boy. Not health-wise, but manpower-wise. I mean, look at those hands. He's got 4 hands, and all of those can hold swords. So, I mean, there's got to be power in there somewhere, right? But yeah, Rigor Mortis is an absolutely wonderful card in this deck because it can be a really good way to just beat on the opponent's face, or be a good way to just say, hey, if you're not a ninja, you're gonna have to send like a 4 power, a 3 power, best case scenario for you, like a 7 power card into Rigor Mortis and take up your entire turn. So this card can be really annoying for the opponent to deal with. If there's something like a Brute, if there's something like a Guardian especially would be wonderful, or something like that. But Rigor Mortis, gorgeous card. Basically, the best matchups you can have are like Guardians and Brutes. The worst matchups you can have are like Ninjas, Assassins, maybe Warriors, depending on the warrior that they are. But yeah, Rigor Mortis, really, really good card in this deck. But then there's Sawbones, Dockhand, a 2-cost, 6 power, 2 health ally with an action speed ability to spend a resource, tap and attack with him, or an instant speed ability to tap him, so the next time that you or a pirate you control would be dealt damage this turn, prevent 1 of that damage. So that's really cool. If something's gonna hit, actually it doesn't. If something's coming in for 1 that would come in and kill a 1 health ally, it actually doesn't. Really good for you. This card is a insane card against the like ninja menaces of this deck. Because yeah, you're taking out the Rigor Mortis, but you still have the Limpet and you still have the Oyston. And sure, Oyston has a when death, like a death rattle trigger. If you know what Hearthstone is at all. But yeah, Oyston, Limpet, they can still die pretty easily. But Sawbones can say, and they don't. And Sawbones is a little bit harder to kill because it has 2 health instead of just 1 health, which is important against those decks. So that's really good. Plus, it comes in for 6 damage. So, like, it's gonna be annoying for the opponent to deal with because it's coming in for a lot, but it doesn't have a lot. But they still want to kill it, so they gotta throw in more than they would be wanting to kill it. But then getting into the blues, all the ways to turn on Gravy's second effect. It's like, hey, if a blue's been put into your graveyard, you get all this value. So, all the blues, and all of them cost nothing to play except for 2 of them. But more than likely, you're not going to be playing those as often. Like, generally, you're going to be blocking. Like, you're going to be blocking with a decent amount of these and playing 1 of them on your turn, maybe. Maybe pitching another. Well, yeah, probably pitching another. And then just getting all the infinite amounts of value. But the first blue, and we're just going to run down the line, is a Vasti. A 0-cost, 3-pitch, 3-block Pirate Necromancer action with Go Again. Says your next Pirate ally attack this turn gets Go Again and an on-hit of creating a gold token. There's also a couple other cards that do similar things. Loot the Arsenal is the same thing, but it doesn't get Go Again, but an on-hit of if they hit, then you get to destroy their arsenal. If you do, you create a gold. Loot the Hold, same thing, but for the hand, they gotta discard a card. So Loot the Hold discards cards. Loot the Arsenal destroys the arsenal. Avasti gets Go Again. And all of them say, hey, if they hit, you get bonus effects and gold creation. That's really good for you. Continuing down the line, I got Chart the High Seas, a 0-cost, 3-pitch, 3-block Pirate Necromancer action with Go Again. It says, look at the top 2 of your deck. You may pitch a blue from them on them, put the rest into your bin. then you create a gold for each yellow card put into your bin this way. So you're gonna likely get a gold token because, you know, you got 18 allies in the deck. You'd be wanting to think that one of those is gonna be a yellow, and one of your allies, therefore. And then the other one's gonna be a blue, more than likely, because over half of your deck is blues. So then you're gonna be able to pitch that blue. You're gonna get the resources, start the high seas, gonna go into the bin. So then you can play those allies, maybe one of the ones that was just put into your bin, from your graveyard, and then boom, value train has started. This is a really good value card for this deck. Then there is Give No Quarter. Now, there are ways to, sure, Chum costs 4 resources, Anka costs 2 resources, Sawbones costs 2 resources. You have blues, but Give No Quarter, when you're playing blues when you're playing allies from your bin, then this is the card that you want to have. Because Give No Quarter, 0 cost, Pyro Necromancer action will go again, blocks for 3, pitches for 3, says the next 2 allies you play with Wateroo Grave this turn cost 2 less to play. Or sorry, 3 less to play. Generally, I think 2 less because Anka and Sawbones only cost 2. There's no 3 cost in this deck. But when you're playing Chum, very important for it to cost 3 less than instead of 2 less. Because, Chum is a very expensive card, but Give No Quarter can make it way less expensive. But then there is Golden Tipple. 1 cost. This is the only 2 block in the whole deck. Everything else blocks for 3 or is an ally that blocks for nothing. But Golden Tipple is a 1 cost, 1 powered, 2 block pirate attack action will go again. That says when it attacks, you may discard a yellow card, and if you do, you draw a card and create a gold token. It's in the deck because it can make you golds. That's effectively all you need to know. It's like, hey, it makes some golds. And it can be a blue that goes into the bin, so there's that too. And then there's a blue Jittery Bones. It's the same thing as the red, except it comes in for 2 damage instead, and it blocks for 3. But then there is Murderous Rabble. Kind of like Ravenous Rabble, but this one looks cooler, and it's pirates, so therefore it is cooler, and the art's cooler, and there's a lot of very cooler things about this card, is what I'm trying to say here. But it costs nothing, comes in for nothing, blocks for 3, pitches for 3, is a pirate attack action will go again. It says, when this attacks, you reveal the top card of your deck, and it gets X plus X power, where X is the pitch value of the card revealed this way. So it's if it's a blue card that's being revealed, it's a 0 for 3, that's a blue, with go again. That's really good for you. If it's a yellow, which that's the next most likely option, then it says 0 for 2 would go again. You don't care how much damage this is coming in for. I mean, obviously you would prefer 3, but I mean, if it's just a 0 for 2 would go again, that's still fine because it's a blue that costs nothing, that's going to go into the bin, and then turn on Gravy's effect, and you can play your allies from your bin. Very good for you, very bad for the opponent. Then there's Portside Exchange, 0 cost, pirate action would go again. It says discard a card and then draw a card. If it's a yellow card being discarded this way, you get to create a gold token. It's kind of like a Golden Tipple, but this one costs 1 resource and this one costs no resources. So this one, therefore, better. What else do you want me to say? But then there's Saltwater Swell, the only other 1 cost in the deck. I like this card. This card likely would be cut from the deck if I had access to 3 copies of, what's the name of the card? Call to the Grave. If I did, then this card would be cut, and I would have 2 blocks in Golden Tipple and the Call to the Grave. But this card's still very good because it blocks for 3 instead of 2. Comes in for 1, costs 1, go again. It has go again. And when it attacks, you reveal the top card of your deck, and if it's blue, you pitch it. So you can get resources off of this. Basically, you can spend a blue to play this. Pitch a blue, you'll be up to 5 resources floating, which is insane. And then maybe, I don't know, you put this into the bin. Then you play, thanks to Go Again. Rigor Mortis would go again, thanks to the Compass. You play Rigor Mortis would go again. Then you play Battalion Bark. Seems like a decent turn, in my opinion. Coming in for 10 and you stick a Rigor Mortis down on the board. Seems good for you, bad for the opponent. But then lastly, there is Tip the Barkeep. This is a 0 cost pirate action go again that says create a Gold Kiss Rum token, which if you don't know what that is, I don't blame you, because not a lot of ways to make this card. You can tap your hero, destroy this, then the next action you play this turn gets go again, and your hero can't untap this turn unless they're a pirate, which thematically, gorgeous. If you're not a pirate, then that sucks for you. But Gold Kiss Rum is a very good card. It's basically Tip the Barkeep is like an activation of Mage Master Boots to give your next thing go again, like an ally potentially. Or if you know that there isn't going to be something with Watery Grave on the top and you need to play a Restless or Jittery Bones, then you can play those, believe that they have go again, and then continue from there, whether it's playing another ally or coming in with something like a Battalion Bark. Or just playing more blues. But yeah, Tip the Barkeep, very good. The rest of it doesn't really matter. I mean, you can give out a gold to another hero and then put this on the bottom of the deck, but you're never going to do that. All that matters is you're creating a Gold Kiss Drum with this. So that's good for you. But then there's the inventory, which has got 3 Arcane Barrier 3 in Null Rune Robe, Hood, and Boots. I mean, what else do I need to say? It's got some more arcane kind of like dealing with ability in the Arcane Polarity. 0 cost, generic instant, gains a life. If you dealt arcane damage this turn, you instead gain 4 life. And what else do you want me to say? It's a great card to replace a Jittery Bones with against another red deck, or against an arcane damage dealing deck. Just take out the Jittery Bones, put in the Arcane Polarity. If you're needing to be more defensive, take out the 3 Battalion Barks, the 3 Restless Bones, and put in copies of Sink Below and Fate Foreseen. I don't really need to say what these cards do at this point because, I mean, everybody knows what these cards do. Sink, I mean, it's a 4-block D-React. You can sink, put a card on the bottom, draw a card. Fate Foreseen, same thing, but it opts 1. I mean, what else do you want me to say? These cards are insane. Sink Below is one of the best cards in the history of the game, and Fate Foreseen I absolutely love and don't get to play very often, and it's actually really good in this deck. You might be thinking to yourself, why not play Blood in the Water? I think Fate Foreseen is better than Blood in the Water, in my opinion, because getting a look at the top card, if it's not something you like, actually getting to ship it to the bottom is a lot more powerful than you would think. And plus, I mean, I like Blood in the Water, yes, but I feel like Fate Foreseen and Sink Below are better, and if you don't, like, you don't really need a 3rd D-React, so I think just having these 2 is fine. But then there's Cutty Shark, which is the card that you definitely want to be replacing with Rigor Mortis if you're playing against something like a Ninja, Warrior, etc. But Cutty Shark here is another ally, cost 1, comes in for 3 damage, has 4 health, and as an action, you can spend a resource, tap an attack with it, or as a once per turn action, you can spend a resource, say your next ally attack this turn gets +1 power. And this action will have go again, obviously. But so you get to buff your allies if you like don't have Limpet, or you just got like an ally, like 2 allies. One of them doesn't have go again, the other one also doesn't have go again, and you have a Cutty Shark down. You can just buff the other ally and make it come in for a little bit more. So I don't know, seems decent to me in my opinion. But yeah, Cutty Shark, very, very good card. But then, continuing down the line, I got some maybe cards. Basically, CNCs to replace the Restless Bones, Conquer the High Seas to replace the Battalion Bark, Moray Le Fay to replace the Cutty Shark, and then Call to the Grave to replace the Saltwater Swell, or if you really prefer to not have as many 2 blocks, Golden Tipple. I would prefer the Saltwater Swell, but that's your opinion. But then for equipment, this would be the main chest piece that you would want to have. Crown of Providence would be the main headpiece that you would want to have. For some sideboard cards, replacing the 3 Arcane Polarities, you'd want a copy of Crown of Dominion, Quick Dodge Flexors, and Whaler Humperdinck. This card is good against like another fatigue-y style deck like if you're playing against another Gravy Bones deck, you want this in the deck. If you're playing against a deck that fatigues a lot, like maybe a Jarl, Whaler Humperdinck can be a really good card for you. Otherwise, Crown of Dominion, just a really good card. Like, if you're not going to be able to hit with the gold-tipped hook very often and get golds that way, Crown of Dominion can be a great way to get that ball rolling. Otherwise, Quick Dodge Flexors is just a really good way to allow you to defend for more if you need it. But that's the deck. I really enjoy this deck. I think it's a very, very good deck, very, very powerful deck. Well, for all that aside, hope that you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It's completely free, no regrets. And have a great rest of your day, everybody. Enjoy.